Happy New Year, everybody. And it's really nice to be back again, just before the end of the old year and right into the new year. And I think that where we ended up last year was with the Bigelow Prize, if you remember, and the events that were recorded in the essays people wrote, suggesting that there was evidence that there is life after death. Now, it's a new year, so we can think of what implication this might have for us. In some of the posts, some of you were rather unhappy about the idea of a continuation of consciousness after death. Perfectly right, no reason why you shouldn't be. I'd be very hesitant myself. But may I ask anybody who is hesitant to go and read the Bigelow essays, see what the evidence is, and then make up their own minds. And it may not change, it may be the same, but it may not be. At any rate, it'll be up to you to decide what it's going to be like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the what the Dalai Lama says in his book on dreaming and dying, because he mentions what effect it has on us if we just ignore the fact that there may be consciousness beyond death. And what he says is that the society in which we live is going to be very different. So let's then just look at the Dalai Lama and what he has to say about it. It's very important, this, because he says, does ignoring death have consequences for us? Normally it's not something in our society which we think about. You never go to a group of friends and start discussing your death, and there are very few indicators that you're going to die. So what we have to do is change our attitude to this. So let's have a look at some of the things which he says. So those who reject death suffer from a false sense of permanence. Oh, indeed they do, because you're going to be here forever. They are more self-serving and lustful. Self-serving means that they consider themselves more than other people, because they're the only things that matter. They have more enemies, because if you're going to live forever, of course you have more enemies, because you don't have to make up with people, because you in fact are going to be around the whole time. Those who reject death become more greedy. Of course they do. Wouldn't you become greedy and want more things if you were going to live in this world? And those who reject death become attached to my wealth, that's what you've got, my health, attached to good health, my friends, my enemies, and my family. All these things become attachment points, and that then structures the way that we think and behave. So let's just add this up. Those who reject death suffer from a false sense of permanence, become greedy, more self-serving and lustful, have more enemies, and become attached to my wealth, my health, my friends, my enemies, and my... Well, there we are then. I think that those are useful things to think about during the coming year. First of all, to be aware that we're mortal, and secondly, see that this does influence our behaviour. And it makes us more generous, nicer people if we keep this in mind. So that's a good New Year's resolution, I think you'll agree. So then I'll stop this video here, and I'll see you all later. Okay.